And I'm doing this video to show some two things, to teach two things about trading. One is basically the trend, and the other is basically the other is market structure. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video is because I want people to be successful at trading and making money trading. Now, I don't like to do day trades, right? Because one of the things about day trading is that it's very choppy. It's very stressing because the market does what it wants, and also on top of that, there's a lot of people manipulating and pushing the price around. So day trading can be, it can be very stressful because you're constantly waiting for your setup, which is basically a set of rules that you've laid out for yourself to come in, and then take that setup and wait for it to finish. Whether you to make money or lose money at the end of the day, right? It's that's the process. You're constantly looking for setups, or basically a set of rules on. Okay, you know what? If this and this, if these certain events happen, I'm going to take a trade. This is where I'm going to buy. This is where I'm going to sell if I'm wrong. This is where I'm going to take profits if I'm right. Those are the things that you need to do when you're day trading, or even swing trading actually. But I like swing trading better because you trade less. However, I do the little old lady style of trading, which is really really simple. Basically, you buy when the market's really low, and then you sell half on a double. It's very very basic, but one of the things that I want to teach is basically how to spot a trend change. And because right now, as you can see, Bitcoin is trending down. Um, if we take some a trend ray, right? Let me just take from this one. You can see that we're trending down, right? And no matter how you look at it, right? I mean, this is not a good chart, right? Bitcoin is pointing downwards. Now, it doesn't mean that Bitcoin will always keep going. Obviously, it doesn't mean that Bitcoins will always keep going down, right? But overall, there's another thing you can see that points to that Bitcoin is going down, is that we have what's called, right, higher lower highs. Basically, Bitcoin goes down, right? Goes down right here, comes back up, but doesn't go higher than this high. So this high is lower than that high, right? Comes all the way back down, right? Comes all the way down here, right? Comes back up, right? And but notice how this high over here is not as high as this high, and same with this one. Although it came close, but it actually didn't quite make it. It went down, right? And then it's kept going down to right here, and you can see that this high does not pass this high over here. So this clearly is a trend, right? You can clearly see that this is a trend, right? And the trend is your friend until the end, right? So what are we seeing here, right? With this pattern, this is what's actually called an M pattern, right? Because it looks sort of like an M, right? It's coming up, coming down, and it looks like an M. You can see another M right here, up, down. This is actually called market structure, right? Because the market is putting in a price structure that looks like an M, right? And so when you see that, that's when the market's going to turn negative on you. So, for example, you could pretty much have said, okay, well, you know what, Bitcoin, you know what, I'm waiting for a Bitcoin to make an M top on the dailies, and you can see that right here, once it crosses this point, right, that's when it's finished. It's like, okay, you know what? It's created its M pattern. I should get out of the market at the highest point that I possibly can, and that's it. That's how you can tell when the market has turned in the opposite direction of it was going, the opposite of the uptrend, because it's been creating an M. So the inverse is also true, right? But it would not create an M, it would create a W, right? So you could see that you can see M's are like everywhere, like in this Bitcoin, man. And it's definitely going down. Don't know how far down. Might do another pop here. Probably not go as high as this high, and then roll over again. But it's highly unlikely. If you were to ask me, I'd think it was going to probably roll over from here. But who knows, right? The price will do anything it wants. But let's stick to what we're talking about, which is spotting when Bitcoin is turning. So let's take a look at when did Bitcoin turn, right? So here, you can see it was always making higher, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, right? And then look at this. You can see it. You can see it on this chart. I'm going to add some analysis, a little bit of analysis. That's odd. Should have added a little bit more than that, but let's try this one. I'm gonna hide some of these since you know what, I don't know. I don't think we need any of these for this particular video. Alrighty, so you can see right here a turn. We have higher lows, meaning this low here is lower than this low. So this is high. This low is really high. It's higher than this low, meaning that something has changed. And also, you can see we have finally a higher high. So this high is lower than this high. So this high is higher than that high. And look, another lower low right here. You can see them, right? As it comes in, it's coming in here, and right here as well. Look at that. We got this high. This high is lower than this high. So this is a higher high than this one. And that is the indication that you see that the trend has changed, right? So when you're dealing with altcoins, this is how you could like time your buy-ins. When you see the market Wing, creating W. So for example, let me just clear all, remove all indicator, oops. Drawing tools, that's okay. I don't need indicators. So when the market does W, right here you can see it's Wing out, right? Creating a W, right? You can see the W. Nice and clear, right? That's when you see a market turn. Now, how do you buy into that, right? Generally, the rule is you buy the breakout. So for the breakout of the W. So basically, the breakout would be right here at around the $300 mark. Now, that's not always the case that you can easily buy the breakout, especially when it comes to altcoins. So what I generally suggest if you're dealing with altcoins, because they tend to, like, once they W out, to just take off like a rocket. I suggest you buy the 78.6, which sometimes is the breakout point, right? Or the 78.6 or 61.8. And buy those areas, right? Somewhere in that area, and not chase after it, because you just don't know what's going to happen when it takes off, right? So that's the reason why I don't too much chase after market structure to get my buy-ins, because generally when it comes to altcoins, they W and they don't come back. They just go straight up and face rip. So it's up to you, right? How you want to trade the altcoins. If you don't want to, buy a falling knife, right? Because honestly, right, if you were to take a look at Bitcoin, but back in the days, and you bought here, let's see here, you bought at 400, right? Because you thought it was a great deal. You were right. You just had to wait long. Any point in time here, you had to wait a very long time before you saw profit, right? Now, I don't mind waiting personally, so that's why I just like, okay, forget it. I'm gonna buy at the fib levels, and not bother looking for market structure, because you just honestly, you don't know whether it's gonna come back at you. Once you have the market structure, price starts to produce a higher high, and you see like other indicators saying, hey, you know what, this is turning, right? These indicators showed that this was like definitely turning, like if volume was going up instead of going down, right? There were a lot of other indicators to help you determine that Bitcoin was going in an upward direction, but this is lagging information. This is information that occurs after the fact. And so because of that, you might not be able to get in to some of these lucrative investments, right? So why not wait? Why not be patient? You're still buying at the low. You're not buying way up here, right? Look, even if you bought these low points for Bitcoin, right? You were only $100 off of the breakout point. Who cares, right? When Bitcoin does like $20,000, right? It doesn't really matter. And that's what altcoins do. I mean, they do like crazy 100x's all the time. So it's up to you, up to each individual trader if they want to be a market timer, right? That's totally the individual choice, right? And wait for market structure to come in before they make the buy, or just buy when it's coming down and it's cheap enough to buy, um, based on the Fibonacci levels. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation on market structure and trending markets.